Namaste to all of you. This is my third video with respect to the Tamil Nadu elections, which are going to be held on April 23rd, and the results are going to be declared on May 4th, 2026. The first video was on actor Vijay, and there had clearly said whether he'll be successful or not. And if you are interested, you can surely go through that video on my YouTube channel. And my second video was on Annamalai, and there had right from 2024 reiterating saying that Annamalai is not going to be active in the politics. He is not going to contest elections. And in that video I had given reasons for his going away from the politics. And if you want to know more about why and what are the astrological reasons for him being out of the politics, you can go through that video as well on my YouTube. This video is going to be on another two main leaders from Tamil Nadu, who is Mr. Stalin, who is the current Chief Minister of DMK, and the second one is going to be on EPS, who is the leader of AIADMK. In the last elections held in 2021 in the month of April, DMK had got 133 seats and AIADMK had got 66 seats. Friends, my limited analysis of Tamil Nadu elections will be only to the extent of AIADMK and DMK and Vijay. Since I do not have the authentic details of Nayanar Nagendran, who is the Tamil Nadu BJP president, I will not be able to come out with a final conclusion as to who will form the government. But this video you will be able to at least decipher to some extent, or you'll be able to come to some conclusion as to who will have an upper hand as far as the two main parties are concerned, that is DMK and AIADMK. Now, without wasting time, let us go to the chart of first MK Stalin. Now, MK Stalin was born on 1st May 1953 at 7:04 p.m. at Chennai. His moon sign and the rising sign both are same, that is Leo. There is a major factor in his chart which shows that he has inherited the power from his father, Mr. Karunanidhi, and that is seen from the exchange of planets between Jupiter and Mars, that is 9th house and the 8th house. Friends, 9th house in the astrology is the father and 8th house is death. And when there is an exchange, 9th house also for the native means that it is all signifying his name, fame, position, status and all those things. Is luck is also the 9th house. And the 8th house is death of the father. And after the death of the father, he has inherited the leadership in DMK. And that is seen from the exchange of planets between Jupiter and Mars. Now, when it comes to the current election, which is going to be held on April 23rd, the dasha that is going on for Stalin is Saturn dasha and Rahu Antar dasha. And that is from December 24 to November 27. And Rahu, the Antardasha, is in the 4th house from the Saturn. And if we see the transits of the Dasha Lord, we can see that, and if we go up to the third level of Pratyantra Dasha Lord, that is Saturn, Rahu and Mercury, which will be in operation on 23rd of April 2026. If we take Mercury, Mercury is actually going and in the sign Pisces. It is first in the trine. Mercury is touching Ketu and then it is touching Mars. So Mercury is actually weak in the chart. The Pratyantra Dasha, Mercury is weak in the chart. And if we see Rahu, the Antardasha, Rahu is actually going in the sign Aquarius at 13 degrees in Sadvisha Nakshatra. And there Rahu is already there in his natal chart in the Sadvisha Nakshatra. And though Rahu has crossed over the Sun by the degrees, still Rahu is in the Sadvisha Nakshatra afflicting the Sun, which is a negative factor for him. And if we see Saturn, transit Saturn is at 14 degrees in the sign Pisces, and Saturn is trine to the Ketu, natal Ketu at 19 degrees in the sign Cancer, and after that in its journey it is touching Mars. That is Saturn, Ketu, Mars combination is happening in the chart, which is also a very negative point for MK Stalin. Now if we take Jupiter transit, Jupiter is now currently going in the sign Gemini at 23.41 degrees, and Jupiter is aspecting the natal Saturn here, and the same natal Saturn is aspected by natal Jupiter also. So in the transit also, transit Jupiter is getting connected with the natal Saturn. Saturn, though it is exalted here, it is retrograde. So to that extent, it has become weak. But the aspect of Jupiter, because of that, Saturn is getting strength. And aspect of Venus also, it is getting strength. But the aspect of Mars is a spoiler for the Saturn. But Jupiter, Venus, both benefics here aspecting Saturn is a good aspect. And transit Jupiter aspecting Saturn is also a positive aspect. But overall, looking into the current Dasha and Antardasha and the transits, there is only one positive factor for him, that is transit Jupiter is aspecting the natal Saturn. And the other negative factors like Rahu's transit and Saturn's transit, and which I did not mention, the Mars transit also on the Saturn is also a negative point. So looking into it, EPS, I think he will not be able to get a clear majority, or it can be a borderline majority, slightly above 117 seats, which is required for forming the government, or 118 seats, which is required for forming the government. He will be somewhere on the borderline case. But as to I said, who will form the government, I will not be able to comment on that. But between AIADMK and DMK is slightly going to be weaker this time as compared to AIADMK. And I will say why AIADMK is more stronger based on EPS chart. Now let us go to the EPS chart. Now EPS was born on 20th March 1954 at 10:32 AM at Salem. His rising sign is Taurus, and here too there is an exchange between Jupiter and Venus, which is an excellent exchange. That is between first house and the 11th house. It's an exchange. It's an excellent exchange. And he is going through the Dasha of Mercury, Venus and Rahu at the time of the elections. If we see the Pratyantra Dasha Rahu, Rahu is going over the Mercury, which is there in the 10th house, and Rahu going over the Mercury, since both are friends here, Rahu's transit over the Mercury is not going to be that much of a negative. However, since in the natal chart Mercury is in the star of Rahu and the Rahu is there in the 8th house, to some extent this Rahu's transit over Mercury is going to be a bit negative to some extent. Now when we see the transit Venus here, Venus is going over the natal Jupiter, which is a very good positive factor for EPS. And when we see Mercury here, Mercury is going over exactly going over the Venus, and Mercury is also, after touching Venus in the trine, it is touching Mars. But Mercury's conjunction, transit Mercury's conjunction over the Venus is a very good positive factor. And Mercury is there in the 10th house in its chart. And if you take Jupiter, Jupiter is currently going in the sign Gemini at 23 degrees. And Jupiter as such is getting connected with the natal Ketu here. And in the trine, there is no other planet if we consider degree of Jupiter, transit Jupiter, that is 23. It is only touching Ketu. This is also a slightly negative factor. But considering the transit of Venus and Mercury touching the Venus, that is Venus, transit Venus touching Jupiter and transit Mercury touching Venus, coming to conclusion between the charts of Stalin and EPS, I think EPS has got some upper hand and he will be able to garner more votes as compared to last time. That is, he got 66 seats last time. He will be a tough, he will give tough competition to DMK, and he will surely garner more seats as compared to the last year. And I will not be able to say as to how many seats, but compared to the previous 2021 elections, I would say EPS is on a better platform, or on a very positive note as compared to Stalin, because the transits in the case of Stalin is not all that supportive. And as I said, I will not be able to comment on who is going to form the government because I don't have the charts of leaders from BJP. And Vijay is, I have already said what will be his success in the Tamil Nadu elections. And with this, I end this video. In case you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. And if you like, please circulate this video amongst your family and friends. Thank you so much.